A museum dedicated to weapons and ammunition made by NATO countries is a large part of this International Army Forum in Moscow. On display here are weapons made by the United States, by Italy, Belgium, and other countries. For example, behind me is the American-made M777 howitzer, which is widely used by Ukraine. Also on display are various vehicles used by the Ukrainian army, unmanned aerial vehicles, tanks, cars, what have you. Let's take a look at what was salvaged from the battlefield.
In total, about 15,000 items have been seized. We are displaying weapons that we have selected to demonstrate their variety, because there are lots of duplicates. Lots of new weapons, some even in factory packing, have been seized. Lots of weapons have been taken from the battlefield. Here, as you can see from their condition, they are from the battlefield, taken as trophies. Let's take this assault rifle, for example. As you can see, it uses telescopic tech, like an XM15, but it's broken. If we open it, all the mechanisms seem shaky, nothing is clear. The magazine seems to be made from very thin metal, which would deform if it's dropped and would thus be unusable. Another disadvantage here is that there are no mechanical sights. That is, it can accommodate only attachments, and attachments can also be damaged during operation or could get knocked out of place, and so it would be impossible to shoot from.
The exposition presents foreign-made mines from the Belgian and Italian militaries, as well as US and German-made mines that are more widely used. Also, cluster munitions are shown here, in particular anti-personnel landmines that the Ukrainian armed forces continue to deploy, injuring civilians. The Ukrainian armed forces continue to use cluster munitions, including anti-personnel petal mines, against civilians. These mines do not have a set time for self-destruction. Deploying these is considered a war crime in violation of Geneva Convention.
Ukrainian nationalists have been indiscriminately and chaotically shelling residential areas of Donbass for 10 years already. Now, previously they've been using Soviet weapons from an old stockpile, but recently they've been using American-made missiles from multiple launch rocket system. Like, for example, there is HIMARS, there are AGM-88 Harm, and Storm Shadow made in England as well. As a result of these strikes, thousands of peaceful civilians, including children, have been killed.
The exposition presents missiles of various types and classes, including those well-known, hyped and praised US and British-made missiles that are used to attack our military units as well as civilians in the Lugansk, Donetsk, Zaporozhye and Kherson regions. These missiles shown at the exposition were intercepted by air defenses from Russia's aerospace forces.
Now, this is the open-air part of the museum dedicated to the trophies that were collected by the Russian army at the special military operation. Now, if you take a closer look at the placards here, you can see that there are flags of all of NATO's main weapons producers, like the United States, United Kingdom, France, Italy, and others as well. Now, Ukraine have been using old Soviet-made equipment since 2014 against peaceful residents in Donbass. But since the start of the special military operation, Ukraine has been supplied by NATO-made weapons, which has now found a home here in the Moscow region at this museum.